Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of the most misunderstood, but literally game-changing processes in human biology. We're going to look at exactly what happens to your body, stage by stage, when you simply take a break from eating. To understand the true biological power of fasting, we really need to track the incredible hour-by-hour journey your cells take the moment digestion stops. It's so easy to think of fasting as just, not eating, like you're just sitting there waiting around for your next meal. But internally, it is an incredibly active, dynamic process. Your body isn't just pausing, it's actively shifting gears, kicking off repairs, and totally optimizing its systems. Now, what's fascinating here is how this flips everything we've been taught about skipping meals. It shows us that a pause in eating triggers a built-in maintenance cycle, not starvation. For decades, we've been told, hey, you need to constantly graze to keep your metabolism burning. But the science is super clear. When we stop eating, we aren't starving. We're actually signaling to our body that it finally has the time and the energy to heal itself. Think of your body like a house. It's a great metaphor. To switch on your fat-burning backup generator, the gatekeeper hormone, insulin, has to finally settle down. The food you just ate, that's your main power grid. And as long as you're eating, insulin is highly active, locking away your stored body fat in the basement and forcing you to run strictly on recent meals. If you want to tap into that massive backup generator of stored fat, well, insulin absolutely has to drop so those locks can come off. This brings us to the 12-hour mark. Around 12 hours, that insulin gate finally unlocks. But, and this is huge, the fasting clock doesn't start with your last bite. It starts when insulin finishes processing your heavy meal, which can honestly take an extra 3 or 4 hours. This is where so many people get tripped up. You finish dinner at 8 p.m., wake up at 7 a.m., and think, awesome, I fasted for 11 hours. But if you had a heavy dinner, say pasta or dessert, your body was busy processing that well into the night. Your true fasting window might have only been like 7 hours. So the crucial takeaway here is that by just shifting your dinner a little earlier, you let your digestive system rest and smoothly cross right into the first stage of fasting overnight. If you stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed, you're basically hacking the system. You allow your blood sugar to stabilize, and you let the bulk of that 12-hour insulin drop happen while you're comfortably asleep. Moving on to between 14 and 16 hours. At this point, your cells realize, okay, no new food is coming. And researchers at Johns Hopkins point to this amazing internal refurbishment as a major reason fasting protects against age-related decline. We call it autophagy. Over time, our cells literally accumulate junk, broken proteins, worn-out parts that just make us feel sluggish and foggy. Autophagy is your internal cleanup crew. It sweeps through, grabs that cellular trash, and either recycles it into brand new parts or just burns it up for fuel. As we push toward the 18 to 20-hour mark, these effects really start compounding. This is where your liver runs out of easy sugar and actually flips the switch on that backup generator. Your liver's stored fuel is basically empty now. But instead of panicking, your body just calmly walks down to the basement, fires up the generator, and starts pulling fat out of storage to use as its main energy source. And as ketones flood your system, that familiar afternoon brain fog, it completely disappears. You're left feeling sharper, calmer, and highly focused. Ketones are this incredibly efficient, clean-burning fuel. When they float up to your brain, they send a very clear signal that, hey, there's plenty of energy available. This is exactly why, once you cross this threshold, fasting stops being this miserable willpower battle and actually starts feeling genuinely fantastic. I know it sounds completely backward, but because the hunger hormone, ghrelin, works in crashing waves, once those ketones signal your brain that plenty of fuel is around, the ocean goes still and your hunger actually fades. We are so conditioned to believe that if we don't eat, our hunger is just going to build and build until we collapse. But biology says otherwise. Ghrelin spikes when you normally eat, sure, but if you just ride out that wave, it crashes right back down. Hitting 24 hours. At 24 hours, that cleanup crew we talked about upgrades to a full demolition team. It triples the pace of cellular recycling and starts hunting down the oldest, most inflamed cells. We aren't just doing light tidying up anymore. Your body is now actively seeking out the damaged, malfunctioning cells that contribute to that heavy aging feeling and systematically clearing them right out. A review in the journal Cell Metabolism highlighted that this 24-hour gut vacation actually repairs intestinal tears and silences the beeping smoke alarms of chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind that causes stiff knees and soreness. Think about your gut lining for a second. It works every single day of your life, no breaks. Giving it 24 hours off allows it to actually heal.
People often notice their digestion calms down, their joint pain just sort of loosens up, simply because the body finally had time to clear those constant inflammation alarms.
Now, as we approach the intense 48-hour milestone, we have to tackle one of the biggest fasting myths head on. Will you lose your muscle if you fast for 2 days? Is your body going to start devouring its own muscle tissue for energy? The answer is no. Clinical research observed that human growth hormone spikes to roughly 5 times its normal baseline at 48 hours. It acts as a bodyguard that fiercely protects your muscle and forces your body to strictly burn fat. As noted in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, your body is smart. If food is scarce, the very last thing it wants to do is weaken the muscles you literally need to go out and find more food. So it unleashes this massive surge of growth hormone to lock down your muscle mass and ensure it only pulls energy from your fat stores.
Since your digestion has been completely quiet for 2 days, hitting it with something like heavy pizza would cause a wildly uncomfortable blood sugar spike. So you must break the fast gently, following a few simple steps. Coming out of a 48-hour fast is an art form. Your stomach is literally asleep. If you shock it with heavily processed carbs or a massive meal, you're gonna feel terrible. You have to wake it up gently, maybe some bone broth or a little soft-boiled egg, wait an hour, and then ease back into a normal, healthy meal.
Okay, now we reach the absolute climax of our chronological journey, the 72-hour mark. This is a stage that genuinely surprised the research world back in 2014. If you thought 48 hours was impressive, just wait until you see what happens when the body is given a full 3 days to focus entirely on internal repair. Researchers at the University of Southern California documented that after 3 days, the body clears out tired defense cells and triggers stem cells to regenerate a brand new immune system. It is one of the most dramatic natural regeneration cycles ever recorded. They actually observed this in patients going through chemotherapy. The fast effectively forced the body to dump its old, ineffective white blood cells and signaled the stem cells to generate a fresh, highly active defense system once food was reintroduced. It is a literal factory reset for your immunity. Now, I absolutely must emphasize, a complete factory reset is intense. It should only be attempted by healthy adults, ideally with medical guidance, especially if you're managing a condition or taking medication. This isn't just something you randomly decide to do on a Tuesday, right? It's a powerful biological tool. And when you do break a fast like this, you have to rebuild those new immune cells with high-quality proteins and whole foods, not junk food.
Ultimately, you definitely don't need to push for 3-day fasts all the time. The real goal is achieving this flexible state where you feel steady all day long. Metabolic flexibility. This is the holy grail of metabolic health. It means your body can seamlessly transition from burning the food you just ate right into burning your stored fat, completely eliminating those dreaded 3 p.m. energy crashes and desperate sugar cravings.
Your liver runs on its own internal clock. So randomly skipping meals and then, say, eating at midnight is like flying across time zones. You have to pick an eating window you can actually live with to signal safety to your body. Whether you choose a daily 16-hour fasting window or maybe you prefer eating normally most of the week with a couple of lighter days, the key is rhythm. Bouncing your eating times all over the place just creates low-grade stress. A steady, predictable window is what lets all these amazing repair processes run right on schedule. So let's quickly recap this incredible biological escalation. We've got unlocking fat at 12 hours, internal cleaning at 16, dropping inflammation at 24, guarding your muscle at 48, and finally rebooting immunity at 72 hours. You don't have to chase every single stage every single day, but this proves your body is remarkably well-equipped to heal itself when it's just given the chance. Giving your body a real break from food might just be the most profoundly simple gift you can give your health. So look at your own daily routine. What consistent eating rhythm will you choose to let your body do what it already knows how to do? Are you going to keep running on the main power grid, or are you finally ready to flip the switch and see what you're truly capable of? The choice and the clock is yours.